Hey, welcome to the Sports Reverends podcast. My name is Dan.
And my name's Drew.
We're no experts, but we are
the Sports Reverends.
Yo, we are back for the Sports Reverends podcast. How are you guys doing? All smiles today. That's good. What's up, Coach?
We're just trying to laugh at you. That's what the problem is.
What you mean?
Coach is good. Coach is good.
How are you, Joseph?
Good. Let's get the show on the road.
Good. That's good.
How are you, Dan?
How are you, Dan?
You guys remembered me. I'm well. I'm super well because we have lots of sports news from around the world. So let's hit our quick hitters. The MLB and MLBPA have agreed to a 60-game season with training camps starting July 1st, with opening day July 23rd or 24th.
The Tyler Johnson signs with the Nets, and the Mavs sign Trey Burke.
It's big time right there. The best news of it all, Liverpool won its first title in 30 years.
Canadian boy Mackenzie Hughes shot a -10 in the Travelers Championship on Thursday.
The NHL Hall of Fame inductees are Jerome McGinley, Marian Hossa, Ken Holland, Kevin Lowe, Kim St. Pierre, and Doug Wilson. Now let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever thought about how well your investments are performing? Have you wanted to understand how the stock market works and how you can look after your financial future, but have been unsure of where or even how to get started? Train to Invest is North America's leading investment education and training corporation, with the sole purpose of providing a new way of thinking about wealth management. Through teaching, training, and coaching individuals in both the art and science of self-directed investing, Train to Invest offers a complete education and training experience to empower families to begin their journey of planning for future generations through investment education. To find out more, look at www.traintoinvest.com and download our free ebook. Again, www.train2invest.com to find more information about our program and download our free ebook.
Welcome back to the Sports Reverends podcast. We are excited because we have baseball back. Woo-hoo! And we're excited to finally have some sports to watch. And it's going to be a different season, 60-game season. Every team will play 40 games against their divisional foes, and then 20 interleague games against the geographical equivalent. So, for example, the Nationals will play their games all against the NL and AL East teams. And I just wanted to talk about how I think this will affect, and how you guys think this will affect, the teams who are expected to win, and maybe some teams like the Blue Jays who weren't expected to do so well this year, because I'm excited to watch the Blue Jays. How about you guys?
I'm pumped. Taking 3-hour naps during the day.
It's the best. It's the best. If you have insomnia, you got to watch baseball. It's great.
Yeah. Watching the Blue Jays on Sunday afternoons is the best. Like, you just fall asleep on the couch.
Pentecostal nap, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you wake up to Buck Martinez calling a home run.
So soothing.
Yeah. But honestly, this 60-game season, I think, really does help the Blue Jays, even though the AL East is still one of the toughest divisions in baseball.
Yeah.
With the Rays now making a run as well. So you got the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays. But you get to beat up on the Orioles a bunch.
Yep.
And I think the youth of the Blue Jays gives them an advantage with this abbreviated start to the season, abbreviated training camp. And if with our new pitching, with Ryu coming over from the Dodgers, excited to have that veteran presence.
Yeah.
Then all the young hitters, excited for it. We were just talking about who's still available on free agency. Yasiel Puig. I'd like to see the Blue Jays maybe make a swing for him.
That's right.
Get some energy in that lineup.
What do you think, Dan?
Yeah.
What I think? What about the Blue Jays?
Yeah. What do you think about baseball?
Blue Jays. Oh, I love watching the Blue Jays. I the rest of baseball, it's harder for me to follow. I'm not gonna lie, but the Blue Jays, the baby Blue Jays. Yes, you're right. It's gonna be exciting. I think our young bats are gonna lead the way for us. You know, I think we have a legitimate chance with the 60-game season to make a playoff run.
I wouldn't put the word legitimate on it just yet, but I do
But
think
anything can happen, right?
right.
Yeah.
60 games.
I think,
whoever gets off to a good start.
Absolutely. And for a team that doesn't have any expectations, it's going to be way easier.
Yeah.
Right. Like the big teams that are expected to win the divisions and things like that, we'll cover in a bit. There's expectations going into this season regardless, whether it's 60 games or the full 160 plus. Right. So a team like the Blue Jays with a bunch of young guys who are just going out there, have fun, try and win some games. Like we talked about off air, if they can go on a run, like if they go, let's just say they start the season, 8-2, right? That's a huge leap.
That's almost 20% of the season.
Right. So that's,
And
incredible.
what's the typical Blue Jays way of doing things, especially when they don't have like the big name, the contending names, like when we in the 2015 year, and those years around where we're planning on making the playoffs, the years where they're mediocre and considered mediocre, they always start off hot, and flail off, and then kind of
teams
finish
underestimate them.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
But I think every team is going to come in with that mindset this year, because even for teams with high expectations in a 162-game season, the first 25 to 30 games are sort of to feel out who you have to get you into the swing of things. You don't have that luxury in a 60-game season. The first 20 games will make or break your season.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
Do you guys think you'll see shorter rotations in terms of maybe instead of using 5 pitchers, they may go to 4 depending on how they're doing?
Yeah, for sure. I think they'll definitely go to 4. But as we've seen in the last couple of years, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, there's been a swing to actually using your closing pitcher to start the game, because apparently they've done the analysis of giving up runs in the first inning versus innings along the line, and most teams give up their most runs in the first inning. So if you can shut a team down in the first inning, you should be better going forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll see more teams go to that effect, get some relief pitching going first and only using your starters 3 or 4 innings in the middle of the game.
Right.
But
which is going to be bizarre.
Yeah.
I think math has changed the way baseball is played by far out of all the major league sports. It's insane.
You see it in the managers. Like the managers hardly get to manage the game anymore. It's all done by if this guy comes up at this time, it's already decided for them. But they've changed some of the rules this year so that you can't change relief pitchers every batter. When a relief pitcher comes in, he at least has to see 3 batters, or reach the end of an inning.
Got it.
So you can bring in a new guy at the beginning of an inning, but once you bring that guy in, he's got to face 3 batters, which will be.
You could even see an increase in the value of relievers, through the 60-game season.
Yeah,
because a lot of guys can pitch multiple innings.
Yeah, because a lot of relievers in the last couple of years have been specialty guys, like guys coming in for 1 out, and you can't do that anymore. So, and benches will become a lot more valuable because they bring in a left-handed pitcher.
Right.
You know that he's got to face the next 3 batters, so you can bring in right-handed batter off the bench. But what about? Why don't we go through just division by division here and see who we got winning divisions?
Cool.
See who we think. We can start in the AL East with our beloved Blue Jays. I don't think any of us are bold enough to pick them.
No.
Maybe Dan.
No. My heart's there. My heart's there.
What do you got then?
I think you got to go with the Yankees and their depth and their bullpen. Oh my goodness, they're just stacked, deadly. Going Yankees.
Yeah, I picked the Yankees too. They're just stacked at all these positions, and I mean, if they keep hitting runs left, right, and center, it's going to be tough to keep pace with them.
I'm going with Tampa Bay. I'm going off the board. I think Blake Snell is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. He's got a chip on his shoulder through his contract negotiations, and their lineup is young. They play great defense. They don't hurt themselves, and they're used to playing in front of no fans already. So
That's good. That's good.
So I think Tampa Bay will be ready to go for this season. How about AL Central? Probably one of the worst divisions in all of baseball.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I picked the Twins.
Yeah,
I feel like they've built a strong base, and they have some good pieces and some the mature pieces to keep guys in focus. And being such a weak division, it could be anyone, but I feel the Twins have a good jump on everybody else.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland. Just because they have Josh Donaldson, don't they?
No, they don't. The Twins have Josh Donaldson.
The Twins have Josh Donaldson? I'm going the Twins then. That's who I want to go with. All right? That's who I wanted.
Yeah. Glad you did your homework.
Yeah. Well, a year ago I said Cleveland, and they sort of fell apart last year. But
so you're the jinx.
I'm going Minnesota Twins as well. Their lineup is absolutely stacked. They hit the most home runs in the league last year by far. Yeah, and then they added Josh Donaldson. So, and I think their pitching rotation is going to be better this year. I like the Minnesota Twins. They're probably one of my, other than the Blue Jays, one of my favorite teams to watch. So,
have you gone down to the Twins games, the Minnesota Stadium there?
Yeah, I like their new stadium's real nice.
I've gone there a couple times too.
Yeah, it's real nice, and they always play the Blue Jays. I don't know if they will this year, but they always have one series against the Blue Jays, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
All right, so we're all picking the Twins?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Twins.
All right, so someone else is going to win that division for sure. The AL West, this is a tough one, I think, but who you guys got?
I'll go first.
I picked the Cheaters.
Oh, the Cheaters.
I picked the Cheaters.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston. I think yeah, it is. You're right, Drew. It is tough, but they're bringing back the same team, and let's be real. Most teams in baseball cheat anyway.
Yeah,
it's just they got caught. But I think the driving force me to pick them is that they're going to have a hostile environment wherever they go.
Yeah,
and that may bring that clubhouse solidarity together and allow them to really, mold as a team and move forward.
And it won't be that hostile because like the fans aren't there.
Yeah, there's no fans kicking around.
But the other teams are mad at them.
Yeah, big time. Dan?
I'm going with the LA Angels. We've been talking tons about Mike Trout, and this could be the year that he, has an opportunity at the postseason. I think he's going to take hold of it, and the rest of his lineup is going to bring him through. They have a strong lineup. Pardon?
Can you name another Angel?
Sure, I can name a few.
Without looking down at your phone.
Which ones do you want me to name? I got lots right in front of me right now.
Albert Pujols.
Name the guy coming off of Tommy John surgery.
From Japan.
What?
The Japanese guy.
I forget his name.
All right. So as we pick on Dan, I'm going to agree with him with the Angels. I like the Astros team. I don't like that they lost Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
who's one of the best pitchers in the league. They still have Verlander and Greinke, but they're getting up there in years.
60 games might be good for him, though.
60 games, yeah. But I like Ohtani coming off of surgery. They picked up Anthony Rendon from the Nationals.
Big pickup, yeah.
So that middle of the lineup of Trout, Ohtani, then Rendon, that's one of the best 3-4-5s in all of baseball, and I think Mike Trout deserves an opportunity to play in the playoffs for once.
It would be nice.
As the best player in the league. All right, moving over to the National League, where we will have the universal DH, which will help some of these teams as well. But let's start with the NL East. Probably just like the AL East, I think it's one of the best divisions in baseball here.
Want to go first, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going with the Nationals, defending champs. Gonna repeat, win the division.
Ooh, big call, big call. I'm picking the Phillies. I think Bryce Harper is gonna have a bounce back year. And with McCutcheon, hopefully he stays healthy. You're gonna have a solid lineup all the way throughout. And if this team gets hot, whew, look out. I think it's gonna be a tough division, as Drew was saying.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I'm a Phillies fan, but I'm going with the Braves. I think
up and comers.
The youth, and the veterans that they have, like Freddie Freeman is one of the most underrated players in all of baseball. A lot of people won't even know that name, but look up his stats. He's a 300 hitter, hits 30 home runs, 100 RBIs every year. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the next Mike Trout. Like, he does it all, 5-tool player. And then they have all the prospects in baseball. If you look up top 100 prospects, the Atlanta Braves are littered with prospects. And I think this year is the year they take the step forward. Yeah, I like to see the Braves. All right, Central.
You go first, Drew.
All right, I'm picking the Cardinals.
Nice.
I think the Cardinals are coming out of that division. It was a toss-up between the Brewers and the Cardinals. I really like Christian Yelich and what the Brewers are doing. They've got a great bullpen, but the Cardinals, with the experience they have, I think they're bringing Yachty back. Yachty or Molina is the captain of their defense. And, yeah, I think this year's the year. I don't think they make a big run, but they definitely win that division. It's going to be a tight division at the top between those three teams, the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Cardinals. But who you guys got?
Yeah, I got the Cards too, for the same reasons, pretty much. A lot of experience on that team and depth, and I think really, as all sports go on, if you have a team that is well balanced with depth and the youngsters, I think you're going to see teams like that are going to do a much better than a team that's only older guys and only younger guys. So I feel like the Cards will be in a good position to make a push.
I'm going with the Brewers, boys, only for one reason. Because my homer pick of the Blue Jays, just Smoke, is on the Brewers, and I want to see him do well.
Oh, Justin Smoke.
Justin Smoke. All right, and last, and probably the easiest division to pick for anybody, is the NL West.
I got the Dodgers.
Enough
said.
Yeah, the Dodgers. But I will leave you with a proposal here.
Okay.
I'd look out for the Padres in a shortened season.
Manny's over there.
Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr. They're building a team over there. They got Eric Hosmer, who was the Blue Jay killer in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Will Myers. They're putting together a rotation there as well. They got some young pitchers. They got a good bullpen.
They're underrated for sure.
Underrated for sure. And the Rockies, they're always there. And they still have to play 30 games in Colorado. So
if they go 25-5 at home, that's a huge run for them.
The other thing to look out for that I just remembered now is Madison Bumgarner is now on Arizona.
That's right.
And I think he'll be looking with 40 games against divisional foes. I think he'll be looking for blood in that division as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I agree with you with Dodgers. They got Mookie Betts now. Like,
it's ridiculous.
They're an unreal team.
They got Cody Bellinger and Mookie Betts, two of the MVPs of the last couple of years here.
What'd they pay Mookie?
They just traded for him.
Unreal.
Yeah. He's going to get paid now. Up next
and
year.
They got David Price in that deal too.
That's right.
But they took David Price's money.
Yeah, they can afford it though.
That's why they got Mookie.
Yeah.
I think. All right. Now let's hear a word from our sponsors.
With no sports to watch on TV, esports have been shooting off the charts. What are esports, you may ask? Well, basically, it's competitive video gaming. Esports are fun to watch, and my favorite gamer to watch is a guy named Vandalize. Vandalize plays a variety of consoles and games, including the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What makes him so unique is that he plays these games with the controller upside down. It is a talent unlike any other. You can check his Twitch stream out, and you can find the link in the Sports Reverends Instagram bio, or you can search him up on Twitch, Vandalized, with 2 Z's or Z's. His control will be upside down. We're going to jump into some NBA action. There's news around the Lakers organization since Avery Bradley has decided not to go to the bubble for family reasons and maybe a few other reasons on his mind. But this leaves the question, who do the Lakers bring in to replace him? There's been 2 players that have piped up on social media, putting pictures and saying the words, "I'm here, I'm available." And that's J.R. Smith, and that's Swaggy P, Nick Young. Who would you guys choose if you can choose anyone who's available? So there's J.R. Smith, Swaggy P, a few others. You can choose anyone else. Who should the Lakers replace Avery Bradley with? We'll throw it to you, Joel.
Yeah. Coach's pick. I'm going off book here. I'm going with Jamal Crawford. J.R. Smith to me is a loose cannon, and his decision-making hasn't been great. Yeah, he's friends with LeBron, but I think it's one of those friendships where it's a friendship by necessity more than anything else. Sure, he's athletic and he can hit a 3 and he's streaky, but Jamal Crawford to me is proven points off the board. He is Lou Williams original. Lou Williams wants to be Jamal Crawford. So you get points, just instant offense, and in the playoffs, especially in a game where it slows down, you want a guy who can create on his own. Take some pressure off LeBron. I don't see J.R. Smith doing that. I don't see Nick Young doing that. Plus, Nick Young is a bit of a distraction as well. But that's my hot take would be go for Jamal Crawford. Yeah, the guy's old. He's not going to ask for a lot of money, and he's just going to put buckets in.
Jamal Crawford, you know what date that comes to mind when I say Jamal Crawford? It's March 20.
Which was?
March 20 is Jamal Crawford's birthday. He just turned 40. 40.
And
a 40-year-old that hasn't played for a year produce? Give timely.
How old is J.R. Smith?
J.R. Smith's like 35, 36?
I think the nice thing about Jamal Crawford's game is that it's shooting. The guy can still shoot. Ray Allen played into his late days, catch and shoot kind of guy. Jamal Crawford's
not a catch and shoot kind of guy.
No, but all you do is get him. He'll get you 10 points, no problem. That's going to swing a game.
My guy that I'm going with, I'm sticking with J.R. Smith. I love how no one's even talked about Swaggy P. I'm going J.R. Smith because he's got the chemistry with LeBron and the other guys. He's actually well known around the league as being a good teammate. That comes contrary to the way people have kind of portrayed him, but he's actually well known as a good teammate.
As long as he knows the score.
Yeah.
And he's not drinking Hennessy.
He's got that blunder for sure that's going to haunt him for his whole life. But he can do a little bit more things than I think he can replace Avery Bradley. He can help on the defensive end, and he's probably a better scorer still than Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley's barely putting up 5 points a game. But I think that's the biggest thing is on the defensive end. And you already have Dion Waiters, you have Alex Caruso. You have some of those guys already. I think a combination
Alex Caruso. Oh my God.
Well, he's a tough defender and he's athletic, right? I think a combination of those three. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. Avery Bradley's not a big loss, and the Lakers should be fine. But I'm choosing J.R. Smith out of those available free agents. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, out of the available guys, I'd probably go with J.R. Smith just for the reasons that you said, like on the defensive end. But off the board, if they could talk him out of his retirement, I'd say Darren Collison would be a guy I'd look at.
Because there were rumors about that.
There are rumors about that, and there's still rumors about that swirling around. I think he'd be a perfect fit.
100%.
for the Lakers team. They need that sort of guy to run the point when LeBron doesn't want the ball in his hands or doesn't have it in his hands, and he's a monster on defense as well.
Yeah. And he can put he's scoring
He's got some
at a high
buckets.
clip last year.
Yeah, he's more than just a role player on some teams for
Yeah.
sure.
But
I
he's
thought that
doing
was a
the
big
lower
loss
work.
for Indiana last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a
a good
great
call, Drew. I like it.
Okay. Now today, I guess it was yesterday that marked a sad, but we all know the point was coming, moment in history. After 22 years in the NBA, the legend himself, Vince Carter, officially retired. Now, many of you will argue if he's even a legend at all.
Cool.
But for me, for most of Canada, they probably would put him on the legend status. But let's start with this before we get anywhere else. What is your favorite Vince Carter moment?
For me, it's gotta be the dunk contest.
It's over.
It's
over,
all
ladies and
over.
gentlemen. It's over. Go home.
I think you can go through every one of those dunks, and each one of them just got better and better. The elbow in the rim, the 180 through the legs. Or was it? Yeah, just
filthy.
Unreal.
Whenever I need to get hyped up, I just YouTube that dunk contest of just him dunking, and I'm just ready to go. It is so amazing.
And him just throwing down it's over. And
Just hype the crowd.
To be honest with you, you guys probably can. I can't even tell you who else was in that dunk contest, but all I remember is Vince Carter.
All I remember is Shaq on his camcorder.
Yeah. The old school and
I love it.
Yeah, and that's the thing I love about the dunk contest is seeing these NBA players get so hyped about what these guys are doing.
Yeah. Vince Carter laid it down. Yeah, I love that dunk comp. Best dunk comp ever.
Hands down.
For me, that didn't even involve Vince Carter's best dunk, though. My favorite dunk for Vince Carter was when he's on the Olympic U.S. team, and he jumps over 7'2". Okay, the guy's 7'2". Frederick Weiss. I don't know how to say his name. Doesn't matter. He jumped over him and crammed it. And then after he crammed it, he did this huge punch in the air, and he's literally an inch away from punching Kevin Garnett in the face.
Knocked him out.
It was amazing. It's just so spectacular. That elevation and the authority on his dunks was just incredible. He's for sure, in my opinion, the greatest dunker of all time. I'm sure in many of others as well. What do you think, Coach?
I think that, and the crazy thing about that dunk is it came out of nowhere. He just stole the ball, 1-2, and just crowned him.
2 steps.
It was just nuts. It was absolutely nuts. I think for me, I love the dunk comp for sure, and I love the Freddie Weiss dunk. I used to have a poster in my bedroom, and for me, I think another memorable moment from Vince Carter is taking the Raptors to the playoffs for the first time. Because for a long time, Toronto was seen as just some dump, an easy win. And when Carter took them to the playoffs, it kind of lit a spark that, hey, even though Toronto is kind of like the only Canadian franchise, they had the Grizzlies, but they were terrible. It was that spark really jump-started the idea that we can do this. And it took some time, but with the Raptors winning the championship last year, that all started with Carter taking the team to the playoffs, kind of making basketball one of the fastest-growing sports in Canada. And you see a lot of people playing hoops on the street when you're driving around because it's cheap and it's easy to do outside. And part of that is due to Vince Carter. And a lot of Canadians got into basketball. Yeah, sure, for Steve Nash and whatever, but because of Vince Carter, bringing that joy and love back to the game. That's what I love. That was one of my ideas.
Before Vince Carter joined the Raptors, before he put on that Raptor uniform, curling was ahead of basketball in popularity.
Oh, easy.
Okay? That's how far down basketball was in Basketball Canada. So instantly when he jumped into the league and as a rookie, wins Rookie of the Year, kind of brought that excitement back after MJ lost and had that exciting NBA feel again. Everyone kind of thought and had these high expectations for Vince Carter. Even Kobe was looking at Vince Carter about He's going to be the next guy I got to take down. Kobe was going to go to Duke University just because Carter was at North Carolina.
Absolutely.
And everyone thought Vince was going to be like the next MJ because he like dunked better than MJ did, in my opinion. And that was crazy. That was exciting. And for him to just bring that life of basketball into Canada, definitely inspired, I'm sure, you and me. I don't know about you, Drew. I probably inspired you, Drew, to play basketball, but it definitely inspired a bunch of us to play basketball and put basketball on the map for Toronto. And that was just unreal. Yeah, I love the playoffs. That was just crazy.
First Carter, playoff. The only blemish on his record is how he left the Raptors.
Yeah.
And
that's a big debate there, though.
Yeah, I know it's not just a Vince Carter problem. There's management problems as well.
Yeah.
You can't just blame him for that. But
I'm not blaming him at all.
Well, like I said, it's a big debate. At that time, it just felt like a huge blow to the gut, especially as a basketball fan, because you invested so heavily in this team.
Yeah.
Right.
He inspired a hockey nation, to like basketball.
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
And we got back Alonzo Mourning and another guy who didn't even play. Both guys didn't play.
Hakeem Olajuwon, baby.
No.
Oh, no, not from that trade.
No.
Sorry.
We got Alonzo Mourning, who didn't play, and some other big guy. And I think one other person that we had one player that was like some bench warmer that played.
Yeah, it wasn't a great trade.
Carter.
Here's my hot take for the whole situation. I think Vince Carter did more for Canadian basketball than Steve Nash. A lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, two-time MVP." Blah, blah. No, you're going to see Vince Carter did way more for basketball in Canada.
Let's see Drew's response. Drew, what are your thoughts on that?
My response to that?
Yep. More than Steve Nash, two-time MVP, Steve Nash.
I don't know. For me, as a short guy, Steve Nash, I would probably put him ahead of Vince Carter. I do agree Vince Carter probably did more overall, but for me personally, Steve Nash was more of an inspiration for me wanting to try to attempt to play basketball because he was more my style of play.
That's fair.
And well, let's easy there.
Okay. First of all, Steve Nash passed the ball.
Hey.
Drew ran just as much down those lanes.
That's true.
Bound for fast breaks.
Never stopping. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I it's tight. The thing I admire about Vince Carter though is the way he evolved over his career to the point where he is now, to taking on different roles that a lot of superstars aren't willing to do. Like we saw it with Allen Iverson. He probably could have been a key piece on a team somewhere, but he just wasn't willing to do it.
Yeah,
we're seeing that sort of with Melo now, sort of struggling with the bench role.
Yeah.
But Vince Carter has taken it graciously, and he's taken that role of being the veteran on the team and being that guy that the young guys can learn from and how to be a professional. And you can just tell he loves the game. And he can still show you flashes of greatness. Even this season, we saw some runs where he was hitting threes and
still dunking on guys.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing I like most about Vince Carter. And the thing that'll probably last in my memory is the way he stayed with it. Yeah.
I love it.
That's a great
Coach,
point.
you got anything last words on Vince?
Man, honestly, I love Vince Carter.
Yeah.
I love Vince Carter. I think, like Drew said, he's a great ambassador for the game. And he's definitely I think he's affected a lot of young players and taught them how to be an adult in the NBA and B, how to approach the game right. And that's something that, you hear a lot of people talk about how they expect superstars and they decline to do that. And a lot of guys have too much ego to do that. And to see somebody like that who actually steps up like that is huge. And I'll always love Vince Carter for that dunk comp and what he's done for Canadian basketball, for sure.
That's good. I love it too. Yeah, Vince Carter, Love Vince Carter. I think he's the one who started with the inspiring of Canada basketball. I think Steve Nash kind of continued it, but is sparked by Vince, and he definitely inspired me. So shout out to Vince Carter. You earned a well-deserved retirement.
It's too bad Wiggins couldn't be any good, hey? Honestly.
Hey, he's still got time. He's still got
Or
time.
Anthony Bennett.
He's 5 years away from being 5 years away. All right, well, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Samara Jane is an Australian-based accessories retailer with all of the latest fashion trends from around the world. Ladies, update your style game with gorgeous earrings, necklaces, and other jewelry for affordable prices. And guys, you can shop for that special lady in your life too. Use discount code SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. That's SPORTSREV30 for 30% off your entire order. Use discount code at checkout at samaraandjane.com. All right, welcome back to the Sports Reverends podcast. Yesterday it was announced the 2020 Hockey Hall of Fame class, and some deserving names going in: Jerome McGinley, Marian Hossa. I know my favorite Jerome McGinley memory is when they were in the finals and him and LeCavier on the Lightning actually got into a fight. Not often you see the two captains fighting each other, but just love seeing that battle. Would have loved to see the Flames come out on top there, but still waiting on a Canadian team to win. But I thought we'd talk about who are some players who we think were snubbed. And I just wanted to give some background on this is because there is a rule of there's a maximum of 4 male players and 2 female players can be selected every year. And that's part of the problem with the Hockey Hall of Fame, why we have so many players that have been snubbed for multiple years on end, is that actually have a limit. So I think that rule needs to be changed. But do we have any snubs that we can think of? I know Joel, you have one.
Yeah, I'll go with kind of a not a weird one, but one that was kind of just where we are in 2020. Jennifer Botterill. I mean, she was one of the few Canadian women hockey players that I even knew about growing up. There's obviously Haley Wickenheiser, but like she was the other one, and just she won the Patty Kazmir Award for the top U.S. college female ice hockey player twice. She had 319 points in 113 games at Harvard. She's only one of 4 players to collect 100 or more points in a single NCAA campaign. She's got 3 Olympic gold medals, 5 world championships, and 2-time MVPs, and scored 174 points in 184 games with the national team program. And so somebody with those kind of numbers, it's a bit shocking that she didn't get in, especially since there was one extra female slot available. I would kind of understand if there's 3 females up and they chose 2 and not her, but to leave one blank and not include her seems kind of ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
My snub is Curtis Joseph. Cujo is my guy. He kind of, when the Jets weren't around, that's kind of like for 15 years of my life where I didn't get to watch the Jets, right? So I liked watching the Avalanche and I like watching the Leafs. And Cujo was the guy who stood on his head up for the Leafs. He's a believer and did so much for the community as well. So, and obviously he has some pretty great stats as well. So that's my guy, Cujo.
And one of the best masks of all time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
His mask needs to go in the Hall of Fame, even if he doesn't.
There we go.
And my snub is one of my favorite players of all time, Alexander McGillney. Was excited that he got to play a couple seasons with the Leafs near the end of his career, but just for the 11th consecutive year, he's been snubbed from the Hall of Fame. 1,032 points in 990 games, so well over a point per game. He has a 76 goal season, which is just absurd. 127 point campaign. And just the significance of who he was. He was the first player to defect from the Soviet Union to play in the NHL. And I think just what he means to hockey, like with all those players that followed suit. He started that movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the career that he had, like, and being a captain of a few of those teams, and I know for the Sabres for sure. Yeah, I think he needs to be in the Hall of Fame for sure. And I agree with Dan. Cujo is one of my favorite goalies of all time. There needs to be more goalies in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Agreed.
That's right. That's right. The House of Common is 10 guys, 10 different perspectives on every and any topic. If you like to laugh, subscribe to their channel. If you like to learn, subscribe to their channel. If you like to be challenged, subscribe to their channel. All you got to do is subscribe on YouTube, and it will be one of the best decisions you can make. Check it out, The House of Common. Well, my friends, it's that time to wrap it up for the week. You guys have anything going on with this weekend? All living fun lives?
It was COVID, baby, COVID.
Living the COVID life, but we're excited that our church can now be opened up to 30% of our capacity. So we're about 45, 50 people are allowed to come, and we're excited to open that up to people, but we'll still continue to do our online services. And yeah, so more work for me, but it's good. It's good.
It's usually how it goes. Yeah, usually how it goes. Yeah, Toronto's finally in stage 2 now, but we're just doing live streaming at CITC, and but we're getting there. Like quite a few of the restaurants are just opening up their patios, so I'm excited to maybe try to get on a patio and have some food at a restaurant. It's gonna be so weird.
I went to Boston Pizza today.
Nice.
It felt so weird to sit in Boston Pizza, but
yeah, I was just gonna say I'm excited to go to like a Boston Pizza for the first time in forever. Yeah. What about you, Coach?
Not too sure. Probably gonna get the barbecue going again.
Yeah.
Not too sure what I'm gonna grill, but I did find rack of lamb on sale.
Unreal.
So I might try some of that, but we'll see.
I will add that I've been in the works of planning our summer camps, and they're all virtual summer camps. But I guess we have an internship team that's going to be putting together individual care packages, virtual care packages for anyone that's interested in soccer and basketball. So we have some few soccer coaches that are like legitimate. One that got his coaching degree and whatever affiliation in England. And we have my main intern's a soccer star at Cape Breton University. And then I also have a professional player that played in India who did his training in England. So we have 3 like super soccer players. Then I have a few coaches that coach basketball other than obviously this coach here and a few others that I know. One guy who coaches down in the States right now. It's pretty cool. He's offered to help out a bit. So so we have some awesome care packages that are possible that we're going to send out to these kids, and we're doing it all for free, all for the inner city kids in Toronto. So I'm stoked about that.
Awesome.
Well, guys, we'll be back on Monday for the next show, and we'll see you all soon. We love you, fans, and we appreciate all of your support. Peace out.
Like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
Peace.
Like, subscribe, and share.